Hello, YouTube.
What up, guys?
Welcome to another edition of Squared Circle Discussions.
With T and M.
We're discussing Monday Night Raw tonight,
Woohoo!
coming to you live from Boston, Massachusetts.
Which was pretty fun. So, to start off.
This is the go-home show for SummerSlam for Raw, at the very least. Let's see, we had some matches planned out for the night. We had the face-to-face for the main event.
Yep. But before we get into any of that, there has been some stuff that have happened with Ric Flair.
Yes.
He is still in critical condition, but it looks as if the surgery went well. So we're both sending out our best wishes and lots of prayers to Rick and his entire family. And we're really hoping that he makes a really, really speedy recovery.
Hashtag prayers for Rick. Hashtag kick out Rick.
Hashtag Nature Boy. Woo! That was
Alright,
horrible.
well.
Anyway,
Hey, we got that out of the way.
so
Opening segment starts with Dean Ambrose coming out.
he comes out first. He grabs the mic and yells, "Cut the music! Let's go!" He then calls out Seth Rollins, and I'm not completely surprised by that at all.
They basically reiterate their old Shield days, go into how the last few weeks have been.
They've
good,
added a
crossing hairs.
fire thing for the burn it down in Seth's entrance, though.
Oh yes, in the
And
Titantron.
both of them made really strong, valid points. Mostly Seth. Because, I mean, it has been 3 years. I get that Dean's still ticked at him for what happened. But at the same time, come on! So Seth holds out his fist first, then Dean calls out Seth.
Oh god.
Seth makes more points. Dean stops Seth from leaving the ring. Dean holds out his fist, and then the two of them duke it out like old times.
They trade this whole you fist me, no you fist me, no you fist me. Went back and forth, ridiculous. Then they got into the old school brothers
Fighting,
bedroom brawl.
which we all kind of saw that one coming because it needed to happen. It's the only way that you might get those two to work.
And then of course it took Sheamus and Cesaro to come out.
Or Cesaro, as we dubbed them. They came out and started attacking Dean, and then they attacked Seth. The crowd was going crazy, chanting, "You look stupid." Dean heads in to defend Seth, kind of like, "I'm the only one allowed to beat him up, not you guys. He's my brother, not yours."
So those two both double clothesline Sheamus and Cesaro, and then they finally at the same time double cross the fist.
Come on.
Kind of like that. And now we have a slight mini Shield reunion going into SummerSlam against the Raw Tag Team Champions.
As Kurt Angle came out, the crowd still chanting "You suck" even after his music cut. Then he announces the tag team match between Cesaro and Seth and Dean for the titles at SummerSlam. We finally have them back together. The only way to make it truly work is if we got...
Well, the crowd still bought it.
Oh, of course they did. Because 2 is better than nothing.
Mm-hmm. We'll be seeing that. I think it's gonna be a... What do you think of the match for SummerSlam?
I'm still pulling for Seth and Dean to pull it off. Because, Sheamus is going away to film a movie for a few months.
I was going to bring that up. Yep, he's going to be gone for 3 months. The title and the tag titles do need to change hands otherwise. But, and I think this kind of just culminates because, Sheamus and Cesaro start out the same way.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to know what you guys think about this mini Shield reunion.
Every thought we come across, leave your thoughts as well in the comments down below as we go along.
Because we love hearing from you guys. So,
please like, subscribe.
Please.
Now let's get on to the next segment. Oh,
the commentators did address Ric Flair as we did before we started this, and again, I'm reiterating: keep him in your prayers. But next is the Nia Jax, Sasha Banks,
number 1 contenders for the women's title match at SummerSlam. Now, before we even get to those two coming out, can we please address the frickin'
what looked to be like a
Looked like a bad prop.
lifeguard.
Looked like a bad
chair?
prop out of Baywatch. Alexa Bliss comes out and sits on this little calls the goddess her throne. I'm like, oh, this looks. She's literally without the belt on, she would look like a lifeguard.
That was my point. It's a lifeguard chair.
Just and the fact she is so tiny and the chair is so big compared to her.
Well, I mean, it is supposed to be a throne,
Mm.
but still.
We get to Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks, and I'm usually skeptical with Nia Jax, but I feel like this is the best match that you have had.
So, but before we even get to the match, Sasha and Nia are both looking at Alexa Bliss as she's sitting in the chair going, "What are you doing? What?"
And of course, everyone coming into this was like, oh, she's probably going to lose because they're in Boston.
Which is Sasha's hometown.
So Nia Jax starts by the match. She dominates.
Always.
She does the hair whipping to the
Bulldozing.
No, she like whipped her to the barricade. She went to the barricade like twice. Throw her back in the ring. Multiple kickouts. She went for a Samoan drop, the leg drop, and of course, Sasha, the clever one. After surviving pretty much
Everything
like 5-10
Nia
minutes
could throw at her.
for about 5-10 minutes. She threw it around 3 times into the bank statement. Blocked Nia from the ropes, rolled her over, countered she countered her up for the 3rd time, and then
she locked in the bank statement and
made her tap out. Broke the hometown curse again.
Yay!
Last person who knew that was Rich Swann a few months ago.
That's true. That is very true.
And like I said earlier, I do believe that this was the best match between the two so far.
I have to agree. I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff lately from Sasha and Nia, and I have to say this is definitely the better match. So it's going to be Sasha versus Alexa for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam.
And concerning how at Great Balls of Fire, the last time those two men in the ring, I definitely think this will be a better payoff. Now, whether the title stays on Alexa, I don't know. I can see it happening though, because who knows how Bayley and Alexa were going to do it at SummerSlam, because I thought maybe Bayley would have gotten their title back, kind of continuing this little rivalry.
Yeah, but with Bayley's injury, which we also have an update on, what is it?
Second separation.
Yeah, it's like the 2nd level separation or something like that.
With her shoulder injury.
And
so we don't know if she'll need surgery yet.
But I'm sending out my best wishes and prayers for a speedy recovery to Bayley. It's weird not seeing you on Raw. We miss you terribly. We miss the hugger. Anyway, so Kurt Angle is backstage. Hardy Boys are trying to talk to him, and then the Miz and Miz Raj with the Miz's wife Maurice interrupt. Then, Kurt Angle tries to say, oh, well, it's going to be Curtis Axel versus Jason Jordan tonight because he couldn't do it last week. And the Miz pipes up.
Oh, yeah, Miz interrupts him because he was like, no, you know what? I'll take on Jason tonight. Wanted to show him up. I'm like, okay. And, anyway. It's funny. I thought... We'll get to this later on, but I thought this would eventually lead into the IC title match, and I don't think that's happening at SummerSlam.
No, not this time. I think it's the first time that it hasn't been defended in at a main for in a long time.
No, this would be the first since... I think it was defended at Mania, so this would be the first since...
But you know what I mean, though.
Yes. But here's the...
The ref comes in and says there's a problem with Finn and Bray.
Yeah,
because the two of them...
Oh, they're just brawling backstage.
Literally just beating the living daylights out of each other. And they're both like, you know what, we don't want to wait till SummerSlam. We want to do this right now.
And then Raw started the trend of pre-delivering SummerSlam matches tonight on Raw. And this is the first one. We got announced for later on that Bray Wyatt would face Finn Balor. Okay, don't giving away SummerSlam matches. I'm not sure that I'm in agreement with that.
So, then at some point,
Hold on. What are your thoughts on that, though?
On the Bray versus Finn?
The whole giving away pre-SummerSlam matches early on Raw.
I'm kind of sad because that is something I want to see, which we'll get into more later. But their rivalry is actually one of the better ones I've seen in a long time.
On Raw lately, yes.
That's what I was getting at.
At least that's what I think.
The other I could go on for hours about the different rivalries.
Well, how about we don't spend as much time talking about the next segment with Elias Sampson?
Well, he's now just Elias, but he starts running his mouth and says, "Who?" and says, "Who wants to walk with Elias?" And we're both like, "Nobody," because well, we have our own personal views.
He's not over with the. I'm sorry, he's not over enough to people to start saying that yet.
So Elias starts throwing shade at Boston like he does with pretty much every place he ever goes to.
Says he has a song for them.
And sings a lot of negative things about Boston. And guess who comes out and interrupts him? I'll let you take this one.
R-Truth. R-Truth comes out, interrupts, does his what's up, turns his back on Elias. Turns his back and gets beaten out of him. And he just walks away, and that is the thing right there. I thought I honestly thought Elias was gonna hit R-Truth with his guitar because it looked like he was going to. Then he kisses the guitar and just takes his guitar and leaves. I don't know what they're planning on doing with him because these segments are starting to go nowhere.
Yeah,
they're not even putting him in matches. So,
as we mentioned, all four men will face for the Universal title at SummerSlam. So, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman.
Now,
but we'll get into those four men.
Now, I don't know about your thoughts, but I thought this next segment was not one of the highlights of Raw.
It was cringeworthy.
First of all, we have the shark cage lowered down to the ring, and then Big Cass comes out to try to cut a promo. And here's the thing: being the heel he is, I felt like he didn't embrace the crowd as well as he did that night. Was he was trying to cut his promo? He just kind of let it just sit there, tried to copy Roman, but didn't do it as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Roman does a better job with that than Cass does. I'm sorry.
You could tell he had a little bit of shock on his face. He's not used to that yet.
Yeah, you can tell he's not used to being booed.
He tried cutting his promo multiple times. They kept crying, "You suck." They kept booing him. He tried dealing with it after a while.
He's like, "I'll stay here all night."
Pretty much.
He finally is able to run his mouth. Then he calls out Enzo and brings up the heat backstage in the locker room, which I don't know if that was planned or not.
Yeah, he pulled a Miz there. Usually when the Miz says stuff like that,
it's usually the Miz who does something like that.
It tends to be more often true because that's who he is.
Well, he also pulls it off better.
And we do know there is actual heat backstage with Enzo, so
yep.
Who knows? That's why I don't know. I'm starting to see this heel turn coming with Enzo because they're really trying to pour it on him, like on really thin. So Big Show comes out. And while Cass still is running his mouth, Big Show's basically going to want to come down there and knock him out. Here's the thing, though, and then all of a sudden the club comes out. I guess after the shtick from last week, kind of jump out Big Show, and they also have a pair of handcuffs with them. And so they handcuff Big Show's wrist to the shark cage. Oddly enough, kept bringing him in so Cass can just throw the metal door onto his hand. Bang! About 3, 4, 5 times, I believe.
And literally gets beaten up and stomped on by Cass, Gallows, and Anderson. And
the refs come out, split them up.
Stomping on his hand, and the refs come out, stop them.
And then
Show is literally holding his right hand, and he literally looks like he's in a lot of pain and ticked. Like, I don't think I've seen Big Show look that mad in a long time.
Yeah, but I can guarantee he'll be carrying an quote-unquote injured hand into the match. That would probably be
very likely.
Oh man. So next we get wanted to me personally one of my highlights / it was kind of a mixed bag for me. I liked it / didn't like it because next up we have the cruiserweight title match
instead of at SummerSlam, which I was like,
they announced right away on Raw and got right into it between Akira Tozawa versus Neville. Again, one of those matches. Here's the thing: I loved this match. I felt like it should have been another thing that should have been held off until SummerSlam.
But I have to admit, I was impressed with how well this match turned out. Like, I mean, generally speaking, worried when it comes to stuff like this.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I think they did this on Raw is because here's the thing. Their next match, which will be on SummerSlam regardless, will be on the kickoff.
Yeah.
And I think that they did this match on Raw because they had more time for it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, they're gonna give a free cruiserweight match anyways.
You gotta give it to TJP and Rich Swann. That would have been funny. It would have been.
Oh, they're not gonna continue that through SummerSlam.
Maybe.
But let's get to the match itself. I thought this is like I said, this is the best showing between the two.
So both men lock up, try to fight for dominance. They both try to dominate each other. There's a lot of drop kicking, countering, top rope drop kicking from Neville, which I was like, whoa. What did I just see? They both literally just keep trying to go back and forth. Tozawa does this, like 2 suicide dives onto Neville. Neville still is able to kick out. Tozawa keeps hitting Neville before Neville does a superplex, but he still connects with the superplex. Titus is trying to get Tozawa back to his feet by, doing what most managers do, or anybody who's ringside, trying to get them going. Both of them throw hands. What surprises me, though, is that Tozawa was able to counter the Rings of Saturn.
That was really nice.
I was so impressed with that. Because I have yet to see anybody actually be able to pull that off.
Not in a while. Not on the main roster, no.
Neville threw Tozawa into the turnbuckle face first. Neville misses his red arrow as Tozawa rolls out of the ring.
Heads up to the top rope, gets a position, hits the senton bomb. 1, 2, 3. We have a new cruiserweight champion. Akira Tozawa.
Neville looked disappointed and angry.
Ending Neville's 197-day reign.
Which is the longest reign for the cruiserweight title.
Fun fact, if Neville held that belt to next week's 205 Live,
it would have been exactly 205 days.
I would have laughed. I would have actually liked that.
I would have. I would not have been able to stop laughing. Because, hey, 205 Live, 205 days. What?
It kind of would have made more sense.
But
I'm still happy for Akira Tozawa.
Me too.
And here's the thing.
It's nice to actually switch it up.
He, to me, was really the underdog in this feud. They did, because I thought he was going to retain.
I honestly thought so, too. And, I've been keeping tabs on Twitter with the cruiserweights. Not just TJP or Rich Swann, but also Neville and Akira and so many others.
Alright, so now we get to the next match is Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, but before that, we'll cover the two quick segments beforehand.
Yep.
So they're back to Enzo and Big Show are backstage with the doctor, says he doesn't know if he can clear with his right hand, says it's injured and he needs rest.
And it appears to be broken.
Enzo tries to apologize and Big Show says, no, I am the Big Show, you remember who I am.
I'm still going to SummerSlam regardless. Which, I do worry.
And then Emma.
And hopefully I'm not the only one who would be worried about that.
And then we get cutaway to Emma of all people, complaining on social media about her opportunities and how she led the Women's Revolution.
Which, I'm sorry.
In front of Mickie James.
And Mickie was there long before Emma.
So she says, why don't you come out and put your money where your mouth is, which leads to a match with those two in the show. Which
I'm actually kind of looking forward to. So, next we get to Finn Balor versus Bray. Bray comes out first, which, no surprise. Finn comes out, but he does appear to have that demon look.
Oh yeah, still came out as Balor Club Finn.
But he had the demon look in his eyes. I am not kidding you, people. He looked like he had the demon look. Just in his eyes. So the two of them go at it a lot. A lot of kick-out attempts. A lot of domination, connecting with forearms, drop-kicking. The drop-kicking is mostly from Finn. Bray Wyatt mimics Finn. Finn then attacked Bray. Bray then flattened Finn. Finn was able to kick out, and he then really does look like he has the demon look in his eyes after that. So Finn's able to counter Bray. Both men are literally down on the mat. Finn is able to get back to his feet. He dominates for a while. Bray kicks out at 2. Bray then slams into Finn. Finn kicks out at 2. He counters. Sling Blade by Finn. Nice. So Bray then attempts to dominate. Finn kicks out at 2. Bray goes for the Sister Abigail. Balor counters, which I was really happy about. Anyway, Bray rolls to the outside after a double stomp, I think is what they would call that. Finn dominates and brings him back to the ring. Bray counters before Finn can even do the coup de grace. Bray connects with the Sister Abigail, and then he pinned Finn Balor.
For the win.
Then he goes for a second one. And
whoa. Before we get to the after the match, I want to slide in for a quick second. Now, what I said earlier with SummerSlam coming early for Raw, this, to me, still a mixed bag. At least they try to make the most sense, but in a dumb way. Because, yes, they gave this match early, but at least, and we'll get to it, at least at the very least, they gave a reason, to me, a dumb reason at the very least, for the Demon to be there at SummerSlam.
Allergies suck. That is what I say on that. Anyway, so...
Still a dumb reason.
Bray goes for a second Sister Abigail. Bray is then with a bucket as Finn is in the corner after the lights go out and then turn back on. Bray pours what appears to be fake blood, but I'm really hoping it's just paint. Or something like that. Finn's covered in this red stuff, as is the mat. And Bray's chuckling and says he's got the whole world in his hands like he used to do.
I'm going to cover this now because we're already there. We get, later on, they get to Finn Balor coming out, like, mostly covered up. I remember most of it. He comes out mostly covered up, like he got some of the quote-unquote blood off. And it says Charlie Carocho that we will see the Demon at SummerSlam.
Because he talks about how he has his demon suit, and you see the demon look, and you're like, uh-oh.
It's me, now...
Bray, you unleash the demon, you're in so much trouble.
Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like they could have done this a lot differently. The one of them looks as dumb. Because they said like they poured like red acidic acid on him. He would be in grinding pain if that would happen, especially considering he got some in his mouth.
So
saying it was blood or not, but I thought Finn could have attacked Bray Wyatt backstage or something and said, the demon's coming for you or something. What was your thought? I don't think the same. I don't think the ending was necessary.
I actually didn't mind. Like, I mean, obviously, it kind of made me cringe watching this red liquid pour out of the bucket onto Finn. It did make me cringe, and I'm someone who loves horror films, and that made me cringe. But then when Finn started talking about the Demon King making his return, I got all excited because, well, Demon Balor is insane. And
I'm looking forward to seeing the Demon at SummerSlam.
For those who
That's
don't
going to be a better
know,
match.
I love the creepy, the strange, the insane, the weird. That's just me.
A little sanity in you, aren't you?
I do have my limits. So then we get to Mickie James versus Emma.
Yay.
And Mickie actually came out in new ring gear.
Yeah, she did.
And it actually looked really good.
Yellow and purple, was it?
I know there was yellow. That much I do remember. But again, it was really nice. They both go... they're both fighting for domination. A lot of counters. A lot of kickouts.
It was
and then well,
Mick kick. It was kind
after
of
the Mick kick, it was literally Mickey James winning.
Yeah, it was kind of a bathroom match. Well, for the most part, it didn't really go anywhere. But anyways, next we get to a really long. It was one of the better highlights for Raw for me again. We start out with getting the Miz and the Miz Taraj, including Maurice, coming out, and then we have Jason Jordan. And for let's say about roughly 5 minutes,
not even.
The Miz Taraj keeps striking Jason Jordan. Miz keeps getting shots in, and then after a couple minutes, brawl breaks out, and Jason wins by DQ. And then the Hardy Boys slide in and come and make a save, and then we get an impromptu 6-man tag match,
which I thought was incredible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought we could have gotten this match right away. I don't think the match previous didn't really need to happen, especially with the backstage segment earlier.
I still think that it was it was good, regardless. So there's a lot of back and forth between Jason Jordan, Bo Dallas tagging in, Matt Hardy being tagged in, Jeff being tagged in, and a lot of back and forth, really. A lot of attempts of dominating, counters, kickouts.
Your deletes, your obsolete chants.
Oh, yeah.
Crowd was going crazy for this match.
The obsolete chants were insane in Boston.
I gotta admit, the crowd was actually pretty hyped for this Raw. They actually fed them pretty well.
I have to admit, it was really good. But there's a lot of
let's see,
back and forth. Jeff does some vintage stuff, which I was literally on the edge of my seat.
Well, we got the usual quote-unquote Hardy match finish. Jason Jordan gets rid of Miz. Matt Hardy does the twist of fate, tags in Jeff Hardy. Swanton bomb, 1, 2, 3. Everyone go home happy with the 3 count.
And as we mentioned, the Demon King is coming back versus Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam. It has been confirmed, people. So I guess this would be the main event of Raw?
Oh, yes, right. Oh, wait, before we get to that, it was announced right before that on 205 Live tomorrow, the next night, we would have Akira Tozawa's championship celebration.
On 205 Live.
Mm-hmm. Now we come to our face-to-face with Brock Lesnar, alongside Paul Heyman, with Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe. With Kurt Angle in the ring to bring down all 4 men. With about 8 security.
I'd say at least a half a dozen security.
I would say closer to a dozen.
Yeah. There was a lot of security down there.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle says that the reason why the security is there is just to basically keep the peace, sort of thing.
Keep the main event safe, quote unquote. Okay.
So then Kurt Angle sits ringside because he's like, I'm not staying in there with these people. Nope.
So Heyman and Paul Lesnar comes out. Paul comes out and says, "So this is gonna break down to a fight, right? Like this Boston's gonna come unglued," and basically said that he is Brock's the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion, and he will not lose at SummerSlam.
Because if he does, then they'll leave, etc., etc.
To which Samoa Joe comes out first out of the 3 men, with Paul Heyman holding the title in the background, with Brock being like, "Come on in."
And the crowd's, of course, chanting, "Joe, Joe, Joe, Joe," because, well, that's just how the crowd works.
Joe basically says that it doesn't matter if it's Reigns or Joe, I'll be the one to put you asleep at SummerSlam. And then Strowman comes out and tells both Lesnar and Joe that he was the last man standing as Roman Reigns. To which Roman Reigns comes out, spears Joe, and then Braun Strowman power slams Roman Reigns, and then we get the usual Brock Lesnar SummerSlam segment with the brawl of everyone keeping the 2 apart.
Mind you, while the attack with Braun, Roman, and Joe all take place, Lesnar's literally just chilling like a villain in the corner of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the security gets knocked down, and then the main roster comes out, splits everyone up, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Raw concluded. And everything up to the typical Lesnar brawl was pretty good.
I have to admit, I was blown away by Raw this week.
Raw did a very good go-home show for SummerSlam, in my opinion. A lot better than others.
Like, I was very, very impressed with how Raw went this week.
But
It
like
gets me excited to see what happens after SummerSlam.
we want to hear your thoughts as well. Leave the comments down below. We'll be back.
Let us know what your favorite segment was if you guys
favorite
want.
segment, favorite match, favorite promo, favorite wrestler for the night. But we'll be back for SmackDown Live
And 205 Live.
and 205 Live. This is TNE. This has been another segment of Squared Circle Discussions. This has been Monday Night Raw. And we'll see you all in the next video.